or plus size woman.
Right.
But people
Yeah.
don't know you're a beast in the gym. And you teach others how to not only eat healthy but live healthy. And when you told me that, CrossFit, that's a whole nother level. What are some of the symptoms and signs, because you waited 2 days,
Right.
that people may need to identify with? And then also, how do you move beyond the stereotypes when people hear that you are who you are and do what you do?
All right. So the first thing that I always like to mention is the acronym FAST, but also it's B FAST, BE FAST. I did not have the typical symptoms, and so let's go through B FAST, and I'll tell you just a little bit about what I experienced in case somebody also experiences that. So B FAST, B for balance. If you feel off balance, you're not feeling like, like I went to go pull on my pants and I started jogging a little bit to the left. So if you feel like really just off balance, vertigo is a big issue. So eyesight. So eyesight is, I looked in the mirror and all I saw was like a Van Gogh swirl. It was really odd. I did not find my face in the mirror. So if your eyesight is weird, not just that it goes blank, but if it just gets crazy, pay attention to that. F is for face. So face is any facial drooping. I didn't have drooping necessarily. I did have, my mouth was like cement a little bit. And then we have A for arm. So if your arm is limp, you can't, you tell your friend, lift your arm real quick to your hips. If you can't do that, then there's an issue. S is for speech. So if you're slurring your speech, if you say, hey buddy, say your name, and you can't say your name, or it comes out really just like, have you had a few drinks or whatever, like that's not a good sign. For me, my voice was not casting. So it wasn't necessarily a slur. It was just, I was saying in my mind, I was like yelling for my husband, but nothing was coming out. Okay. And then T is for time, which is my biggest thing, right? Because I waited 2 days like a dummy, and I thank God every day that I survived, because I waited 2 days to seek any medical attention. And I didn't even call my doctor until it happened on a Sunday morning. I didn't call until Monday, and then finally on Tuesday I went in. And a part of that too is I like to really mention that moms, I'm a mom of two, and at the time I only had one child, and I felt like I was too busy to take care of myself, and that a Tylenol would take care of it. And so I popped a Tylenol and went back to bed. So be fast is the thing that I like to always spread and be aware of. I think that that's the most important thing, is just to listen to your body and to really be aware that it can happen at any age. I was 32. I was an I say occasional smoker, I lie. I was smoking. And I was 70-ish pounds heavier. But I did not have high blood pressure, didn't have arm issues. I had a pain in the back of my neck. I had severe vertigo. I thought I was like spitting in the air while 18 men were pulling me down. Mm-hmm. And I had just atypical symptoms. And so my stroke was a little bit different. It's spontaneous. They don't know why it happened. So I always say the reason why it happened is because I'm here today.
We had an opportunity just to share briefly while we were in the back, and
I was crying.
Thanks. And yeah. So the tears started to, and I was like, look, we got to stop this conversation.
Yeah,
we'll both be a wreck,
I did my makeup,
and we won't do good. And so, but last night, for many of you, I've made mention of a group that I'm a part of called Biz Connect,
yes.
and that's the avenue by which we were able to meet.
Yes.
But I also said, God positions us to position others. And the thing that I was able to say to you was, what we find fault with becomes the gift, or it ignites the passion that allows us to now be in a position to position other people. That when we think about stroke, sickness, things that happen, we have the tendency, especially if you're a believer, it's the devil. But Scripture says nothing happens apart from God, be it good or bad.
Right.
All things work together. It's fitting into a plan to them that love God and that's been called according to His purpose and design.
Absolutely.
And so in you going through this, it has created an avenue by which you can educate others, okay, motivate others. I'm feeling my Nipsey Hussle moment right here. Hustle and motivate and educate. You want to be able to do all of those things after you've gone through life experiences, and that's the thing. Not allowing your experiences in life to define you, or or hinder you from pursuing what is actually your passion, or now becomes your passion.
Right.
And so now you're in this position, being able to educate, being able to motivate, as well as train people,
Right.
all across the board.
Yeah.
You have a podcast. And you have so much going on. I want to make sure so that the time doesn't get away.
Okay.
I want you to be able to communicate to people, one, how to get in contact with you.
Okay.
Two, how to follow you, your podcast, all the things that they would need, especially with people who are uncertain about, hey, how do I start getting healthy, and how do I work on this, and not allowing the size. And that's the key thing for you,
Right, it
is
is.
not letting the size of you determine or define you.
Right. Yes, absolutely. And that was a big part of my company, A Size Strong, because I obviously am not a, little pinky stick figure, and I believe that everybody can work on their health and wellness no matter what size you are. I was always overweight as a child and young adult, and then went through some issues, and it takes a lot to be secure and comforted, by your path in wellness, and it's hard. And so for me, especially coaching at TTR, I am so blessed that my friends and my coaches and my head coach, and we're all on the same path. They believe in me. They don't see my size, they see what's in here, and I appreciate that very much. And so when I'm at TTR CrossFit, we're actually right down the street on Rayford near 45. So it's nice for me to be able to not only, make friendships along the way at our gym, but when new people come in and they are in the position that I was after, if my doctor telling me you need to get healthy, I was just like, well, okay, I didn't really know what to do. So at TTR, I love that our coaches actually tell us how to, we have avenues to eat well, and we have avenues to, encourage you and everything. So for me, coaching there and having my company, A Size Strong, I'm on Facebook, A Size Strong. I'm on Twitter, Instagram. My podcast is Unfiltered Survivors. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we're working on our own website. We don't have that quite yet. We're celebrated a year in June, and we've had some special guests. I know, I'm so excited. We've had our first sponsor, and we've had wonderful guests that have changed people's lives. And it's not just about a survivor in health necessarily. It's throughout life. Everybody has their story. Everybody is a survivor of something. And we want to use our podcast not only to spread support, motivation, health, wellness, but that any type of issue, whether it's domestic abuse or anything, we want to spread joy and hope to everybody. So there, and then at TTR CrossFit, we have a website, ttrcrossfit.com, and we are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, down the street, like right down there. So I love it there. Like it is just, it's a blessing.
I asked you because you're not only are you a mother, you just got the whole family structure. You are employed somewhere else. You are an employer, and we know where your passion stems from. My thing is, I thought about the meal plans that I saw that you prepare. You literally give people guidelines, and one of the things that sets you apart is that you're able to walk people through. We find people that give out the information, but you can't really interact. And I think when we talk about business and the customer service and going the extra mile, that's what I admire about you and what you do. The other thing is you're not ashamed to share.
Right.
Yeah.
It took a long time, but
You're not ashamed. You're not ashamed to share, and that's going to be the thing that sets you apart from anyone else. You're willing to share what you possess, and I tell people your experience in life becomes someone else's experience, but it also becomes their wealth if they will allow what you're sharing out of experiences or out of your experience to become the very thing that becomes the catalyst for them. You mentioned your heart, and that's the thing that I want to leave our listeners and followers with this morning. Is while man is looking at the outward appearance, 1 Samuel 16:7. God is looking at our hearts. And so we have the tendency to choose wrong, eating wrong, make bad decisions, bad choices. Here's the thing. When it comes to his plan, can't nobody do away with that. And you are a part of his plan. I want to ask our listeners to do me a favor. She made mention of her friend, Faith Over Fear.
Yes.
Give her name again, please.
Yes, Amanda De Jesus.
Okay. I want everyone that is listening, everyone that will watch at some point, not only share, KNLY 91.1 The Boss, anything that we have going, Today's Entrepreneur, but I want you to commit for 3 days to lift her up in prayer. We know the needs or the desires, but I want you all to commit and covenant with me. I can get the team here at KNLY to
I would appreciate that.
And we're gonna, for 3 days, 72 hours, we're gonna get an agreement and start praying, and we're gonna watch God move. Amen. Listen, once again, Miss Kelly, Fuchek. Yeah, Fuchek. Hey, listen, I get these last names, but follow her, connect with her. Anything that we bring to this platform is definitely for the overall benefit of this community that we believe that we're a part of. So God bless you. Thank you so much for sharing with us on Today's Entrepreneur. I'm Orlando Daniels, and once again, we are signing off, and we bless God for each of you. You all be blessed.